2 years ago, I reviewed the Velotric Discover 1, and I was extremely pleased with the features, the performance, and the affordable price of that bike. That was a commuter bike, and I still use that one today. Actually, my mom uses that one today. I've since had the chance to try out a couple of other Velotric bikes, a fat tire model and a fitness model, both of which were outstanding bikes. But for the past couple of weeks, I have been riding a brand new folding mile from Velotric, and it is clearly an appealing option for many e-bike riders. The new Velotric Fold 1 is available in one size as a step-through model, as you can see here. It has one of the lowest step through heights of any bike on the market at just 400 millimeters for stepping through. So it's designed for accessibility for anyone. Currently, the Velotric website says it's for people from 4'9" to 6'5". I'm 6'1", and I currently have the saddle at just an inch or a little bit less higher than the minimum or maximum requirement. So this is really designed probably for people that have my leg length that are 6 foot, maybe 6'1", but I think it would be a push to get to 6'5". Let's start off the Velotric Fold 1 and talk about some of the hardware and the specifications. It's currently available in 3 different colors: the electric blue color, as you can see here, a stone gray color, and a pearl white color. The electric blue model is lovely, and it's got that royal blue color, and it's sure to stand out from the crowd, as you can see in front of me. It's constructed, as most all e-bikes are today, of that typical aluminum alloy construction. It weighs in at 63 pounds, which is a bit heavy for a foldable bike, but as we'll talk about, there's some reasons for that. It has a massive carrying capacity of 440 pounds, with this rear rack capable of 120 pound capacity. And much of the reason because of that is because of the integration of this rear rack into the frame itself. It's not an add-on, it's part of the frame, so it can carry that 120 pound capacity. In the front here, it has 60 millimeter front suspension with a lockout dial, so you get a little bit of suspension when you're going over rough roadways. And in the back, one of the reasons it is heavy, it has that big 750 rear hub motor with a 1050 watt peak and 70 newton meters of torque coming out of that. Below the seat and behind it a little bit is a really large battery. This is a 48 volt, 608 watt hour battery with 12.6 amp hours, and it can be easily removed with a key, and then it slides right up and out. And a thing that I'll talk about in a little bit about this battery, it's IPX6 rated, so this battery can actually be submerged for a period of time. Not that you're necessarily going to want to do that. This comes as a Class 2 bike by default with, as you know, is a throttle up to 20 and pedal assist up to 20. But it's very easy to go through the unlock process, and Velotric actually has a link on their website for a video that shows you how to do this. You can unlock this bike to Class 3 capabilities. Now, when I first started riding it, I thought, okay, that means 28 miles with pedal assist. However, on this one, this actually means the throttle can take you up to, not, I wouldn't say 28 miles per hour, but really close to that speed. It has an advertised range of up to 55 miles with pedal assist, and 45 miles with the throttle. My experience is more like 42 miles with pedal assist and 25 to 30 miles with a throttle, but I'm also a 230 pound person. I had it unlocked in Class 3 for a lot of the time, and I tend to use it in pedal assist 2 or 3, sometimes 4 mode. It has very large hydraulic disc brakes with 180 millimeter rotors with these 20-inch by 3-inch tires that do have kind of they're pretty knobby tires, so you could take this out on some trails and some rough roads. Again, it has 5 levels of pedal assist. It has a left thumb throttle and 7-speed Shimano transmission system. It has a very comfortable saddle, adjustable handlebars, and fantastic rubber ergonomic grips on the handlebars themselves. The name is a Velotric Fold 1, so it does have many folding elements, including folding pedals. Now, these are plastic pedals, but they're still decently folding in half for storage. The handlebar stem folds down, and of course the middle of the bike folds as well. So there's plenty of folding and compactness, and also a kickstand that supports that folded state. There are steel fenders on the front and the back, and an aluminum kickstand on the back left. It has a vibrant 1.8-inch LCD display with a USB-A port for charging up some of those devices. And I have to say, it's one of the highest resolutions LED displays that I've seen. On the front, we find a big, bright 60 lux LED headlight, and on the back, we find an integrated tail light that actually functions as a brake light, which I love. This battery, I was wrong. Earlier I had said IPX6. This battery is actually IPX7 waterproof rated, and the whole bike itself is IPX6 rated. So this bike is designed and built for my travels in the Northwest, where I don't have to worry about rain. I'm not going to take this swimming or in a lake, but I'm going to ride this bike without worrying about the elements around me. It has UL 2849 certification for the electrical system on the bike and the UL 2271 for the battery, so it is very safe. Use the charger that it comes with and you will be good to go. One thing that's a bit unusual is the battery is actually stamped with the UL rating, and the bike has a stamp and a sticker on there as well, so it's very well advertised that this is a UL certified bike. So the folding size, and when I fold it up into the smaller pieces, it's 38 inches long by 19 inches wide by 23 inches high. Now I mentioned this controller on the left side, and Velotric is very good about having a very simple controller. There's a power button, a plus button, and a minus button. So it's very easy to operate this. It's very basic, but it has, I can't say enough how great the resolution is on it. I've seen some monochrome controllers on many bikes, but this is the highest resolution and the clearest one, which is great for whether you're wearing sunglasses or riding out and about. It's very clear, easy to see with big numbers, very simple to operate with a plus and minus, and you just push that power button repeatedly to go through the various screens like the odometer, available battery, and other ratings. As I continue to mature my YouTube channel, and especially my e-bike reviews, I started with my last e-bike review of doing some typical tests. So I repeated those same kind of tests on this bike, the Velotric Fold 1. I'm going to do with all my bike reviews coming forward. Now the first one was the hill test, and I mentioned this before. The entry to my neighborhood has a 13 to 15% incline. It's very, very difficult, impossible to ride a regular bike and get up that hill. So with pedal assist at level 5 and me pedaling in the lowest gear possible, I was able to maintain about 9 to 10 miles per hour without stopping. So any achievement when I can get to the top of the hill without having to stop is an achievement of that bike. And this bike is pretty heavy at 63 pounds, so able to get up there. I will never, or I have never yet tested a throttle only bike that gets my 230 pounds up the hill, but we'll see, because I have just purchased another Velotric bike that may actually get me up that hill, so stay tuned for that one. Now, as far as the distance test, I was using the flat on the throttle. The throttle is very responsive. For long rides, it can get a bit tiring to hold down this button for extended periods of time. There is no cruise control, which I'd like to see, that would kick in after a few seconds, but so you have to hold down on that thumb for a throttle mode. So I did that for about 5 miles. I would love to see that cruise options, but what I did see was it was able to get up to 26 miles per hour when I turned on the class 3 part, not just 20, and that was pretty good. However, the battery does go a bit fast in that class 3 mode, so backing it down to a class 2 mode, I didn't quite get the achievement of the 45 miles that is advertised for throttle only, but I did get 30 plus, so I think with a right person and the right terrain, maybe you can achieve close to that, which is expected. And then I also rode it for quite a while. I think I did 15 miles in my preferred mode, which is pedal assist, right? I don't want to always sit back and do throttle only. Pedal assist is my preferred mode. I used pedal assist 2 to 4. Pedal assist 2 was actually pretty hard on this bike, just because the weight. Well, pedal assist 1 was just too low. So I bumped it to pedal assist 2, rode that for a little while, but I spent most of my time in 3 or 4, which is a very comfortable, keep me up to a good speed of 20 and stuff. And with 13 miles on that long ride through the trail, it did wonderfully, and I really enjoy that 2 to 4 pedal assist mode. Since I ride my bike to work when I go to the office, and then I ride it for fly fishing and other things, I always like to check the worst case scenario. If I'm out and about far away and my battery completely dies and I need to get home, how will the bike perform? So I rode this bike for just It's funny, I only did it for 1.5 miles with no throttle or pedal assist, the battery at 0. It's a fairly heavy bike. The tires and wheels are pretty small. It took me a lot of effort to crank around and get this bike moving with no battery at all. So this bike really does need that battery assist. So I wouldn't ever purposely go on a no battery ride, but in a worst case situation, it might have to be able to do that, and you can do that. Maybe you just want to carry it though. I like folding bikes for storing them, hauling them in the back of a truck or an SUV to be able to ride at other locations. That's what really makes these nice. If you don't have a folding bike, it's hard. You have to own a truck or a carrier or some way to get a bike around. When you can fold it up, it's easy to put into an SUV or a truck, maybe even a trunk of a car. Velotric impresses me with the power, the responsiveness, the solid braking, and so I expected the foldable to be good as well, and it delivered on that. It's a fun bike to ride with a very comfortable seat, comfortable handlebars, very ergonomic, ability to crank that up to a class 3 and make that throttle go. It's a very solid build, lovely colors as you can see in this electric blue, and it has that power to roll along with a smile on my face. So I give this fun factor a big thumbs up. Now, not every bike is perfect, right? There's a couple of areas that I identified for myself. Now these might be specific to me as well. It is a bit heavy for a foldable bike. Now, if you're just using it for storage, that's fine. This isn't one of those foldable bikes you're gonna take up and carry on a train or a commuter bus or anything like that. It is foldable, best for storage or moving around in a truck or a car. It does have a USB-A port, which is great to charge your phone. And every single one that has a USB port has the USB-A. However, we're all moving to USB-C, so I'd like to see somebody start putting USB-C ports in these displays. Now, one thing that was a bit awkward was when I ride on the commuter train, I put the bike on the train, get to my station, my final destination. I have to carry it up 3 flights and then back down 3 flights. And carrying this bike, there's really no handle for it, but the rack here is a pretty good handle. But when I pick that up and then try to carry it up the stairs, it's not balanced very well. So there's not really a good central handle like we've seen on some bikes. So it can be a bit difficult to all this heavy bike, especially when you're grabbing it here. You've got the battery, the back tire, all the weight back here. So it's not the easiest for carrying around, but that's kind of a special case for me. The Velotric Fold 1 is a pretty amazing bike, just looking at all the features, the functions, and the hardware. And what's even better is it launches at just under $1,000, $999 retail price. And the good thing is too, Velotric bikes can now be found in your local stores with dealers all around the country. I put in my zip code and there's actually 2 dealers within 20 miles of my location, so I could go check this bike out in myself. And that's a great thing for people to be able to try it and not just take my word for it. There are some accessories you can buy for this, including a front basket, a suspension seat post if you wanted to, a passenger handrail, and a seat in the back, which I don't really know how you're going to fit a passenger on there with as small as it is, but those are available if you want. We just had a couple friends visiting here from Lake Tahoe who ride e-bikes everywhere, along the lake and wherever they're vacationing, and they were looking for a new bike because his bike just ended up dying. I said, stay tuned, I'm going to check out the Velotric Fold 1. And fortunately, it arrived about 3 days after he left, so I've had to put this to the test myself. This is one solid option for many, many people. With that low step through, it's very accessible to get through this bike and on this bike and lower that seat. It's got power to help you propel you forward, and it has a very reasonable price. The foldable design makes it good for small locations, apartments, and other places where you can store that. The ergonomics and the accessible features like the handles, the seat, the display, all of that is wonderful. If you're looking for an e-bike, especially a folding model, this is one of the best folding models available at less than $1,000. Velotric Fold 1 is highly recommended by me, and I think you should take a look at it. If you enjoyed this channel, please leave a comment, subscribe, share it with family and friends, and send any comments you have for me, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks everybody for watching, and may the mobile force be with you.